even start to tell you about my research in Pilates-based exercises for spinal stenosis, I need to warn you the very first thing you need to do is get your vitamin D levels up. You need to take a vitamin D supplement. 75% of stenosis sufferers are vitamin D deficient, and almost all stenosis sufferers will benefit from vitamin D supplementation, such that even after 6 weeks, the assessment will show that you're better. Let's get on with the exercises. First 4 exercises, starting with a Pilates 100, heavily modified. Head up, push a hand on a knee, curl the tailbone up, watch the hips there. The back is now pushed into the mat. And pumping, you'll notice the elbow is going up and down the same as the hand. Push on the knee. And press the back to the mat. As you breathe in, please keep your shoulders down. You'll notice that you're both bracing with the tummy and breathing. And then the other side. Pump, 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 pump. Tailbone bringing up. Press the back to the mat and press the hand to the knee. If it's a little hard on the neck, you can put a hand at the base of the skull. The breathing style is that you get a little bit of breath into your belly and to the lower 3/4 of your chest. The shoulders stay down and wide. Second exercise, hug a knee to your chest and slide a heel away. Hug a knee. Feel the small of the back press into the mat. Your stenosis spine is now safe and free from nasty twinges. Slide the heel away as much as you can with keeping the back on the mat. Slide and back in. You can take a breath and then slide and back in. A suggestion for the breath is that you imagine you have a crop top t-shirt on and you want to keep the bottom edge of that crop top t-shirt over your lower ribs. So breathing in, keep your hem of your crop top t-shirt down. Sliding away. Breathing in, crop top t-shirt staying down. You can get a good breath in. This is activating the diaphragm and the belly and the lower circle of ribs. To breathe in a way that you're not going to be putting any nasty movements into your spine when you're breathing. It's very powerful. So we can slide a leg away, slide back in and take a breath. The lower ribs are staying down, the belly and lower 3/4 of the chest expanding with air, and the neck's relaxing at the peak of the breath, and you can carry on. Is your back on the mat? If not, hug the knee in more. Slide the heel away. You can take a breath there. Crop top t-shirt staying down and neck relaxing, and away you go. Next exercise, pillow under the chest so that we can start to stretch out the upper spine. Make sure both knees are bent. Put one or both hands behind your head. I'm going to just start with a fist under my head. And what we're doing is stretching out the front ribs so that if you've got a hunchback, you're getting more flexibility into your chest, so that when you look up, you don't have to backward bend your lower back. Again, the breathing style, crop top t-shirt staying down, you breathe in and this floating ribs that are not connected to the breastbone expand out sideways, not up towards your armpits, but purely sideways. Breathing in. Relax the neck and throat. Peak of the breath, open your throat like a wide bore vacuum cleaner. Correct postural breathing means that you can take a good full breath without changing the shape of your spine, and that will avoid you arching your back and creating more spinal stenosis pain. I'm just going to switch my hands over, just a fist under my head. Notice the good stretch we've got here. And again, keeping the lower ribs down so that they're not creeping up to the armpits. Breathing in. Neck relaxing and lengthening, breathing out. And now to the double leg stretch, dead bug style. I find it's nice to have a cushion ready for the head, or you can double it up if you need to. Hug the knees in, send everything up to the ceiling and a little bit wide. Tailbone up, shoulders up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly come back down. Hug your knees in so that your tailbone's lifting. You can take a breath. Up we go. Arms a little wide. Up we go. A little breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly hug in and lower your head. It's traditional to do 10 repetitions, but my main advice is you do 90 seconds on the stopwatch. And that goes for all the exercises. Or it could be a little less or a little more. Up we go. Feel the tummy working. Try a little breath. Can you breathe here? Come back in. And hug the shins down towards your upper belly. This is a nice place to explore a good stretch your ribs breath. That's the first 4. Next 5 in my research-based Pilates stenosis exercises is a single leg circle with a hand at the side. The start position is going to be where that hand is. The legs are a little bit wide of the body. The opposite hips down on the mat. You just pause and get that feel. You've got a body that's absolutely steady like a concrete block. And so you bring the leg across the body, down, around, and back. Pause. Make sure the weight's equal on the bones of the pelvis, the opposite sides into the mat. And around. And as you're going, you can think about relaxing around your collarbones. We do 5 one way, pause, 5 the other way. So this is all about breathing and bracing, and knowing that you can keep your spine still even though you've got a long leg moving. So there's no backward bending, sideways bending, or twists in your lower spine. Relax around your neck and collarbones. Let's just take a little break. So I'm just bouncing the calf off the hammies and I'm making sure my back's pressing into the mat. Just gently. Shoulder blades flat to the mat. And so we can do the other side. The hand tells you where the start position is. Find a comfortable spot just wide of the body. And the opposite hip here is down on the mat. We can feel that bone pressing down. Across the body, down, around, down, back. Pause. And across the body, down, around, and back. Pause. It may be that you have to have a bent knee. Well, that's fine. You may not be able to go very far out. Don't need to. And then a straight leg and change direction. And around. Pause. Bracing. Other side of hip down. We'll just finish off now. Okay. Clamshells, sideline. I'm just taking myself nice and slow with a nice straight spine. It's nice to have a cushion under your head, but you don't need it. Now I've got my shirt tucked in because I want you to make sure that your spine is horizontal and it's not sagging in the middle. So I just take my ribs up. I can now slide fingers under ribs. If you have a large tummy, it may be that you can't lift very much, but at least you've got your ribs lifted. The spine is now horizontal. For the clams, let's just start with the up position. That's the start position. You can breathe, and lower ribs stay down. Neck is relaxing, and then carry on. Just breathe when you need to, but just remember to relax the neck and keep the lower ribs from creeping up to your armpits. You'll notice I come down and I feather touch the knees and come up again. That's traditional to do 10 reps. It's all right if you do 5. Or you can set a stopwatch for 90 seconds. Are my ribs lifting? Checklist here, the breathing in with the ribs staying down. It's almost as though these lower floating ribs are opening like clams. I'll show you on the other side. Keep the back straight. Don't want any nasty twinges. Brace at the back, down we go. So the spine sagging down, that could be causing a twinge. So the ribs lift, and I can slide fingers under the ribs. Spine is horizontal and straight. Clams, that's the start position. We just go down and up, down and up. You might like to play with the breathing less such that these lower ribs are opening like a clam, just like the knee. Breathing in, relax the neck. Now, if you watch my hands, I don't want you to have these lower ribs opening and creeping up to your armpits. So this is the direction. So if I had a crop top t-shirt on, the lower hem is staying down. You don't have to synchronize your breath with the leg movement. Just keep the ribs lifted. The lower ribs are staying down on the in-breath. They're just going wide. They're staying away from your armpits. The neck's relaxing and lengthening on the in-breath. Brace with the back. Come on up. Third exercise, rocking back into a puppy pose with one hand forward. And we get a stretch on that forward hand shoulder. And come on up and let your back round a little. And then back again. We're putting flexibility into the upper spine so the lower spine can move less. You keep your back a little bit rounded to avoid any nasty pinching nerve pain. You can still think about breathing. As you breathe in, please keep your shoulders down. I'm just going to switch over. Other hand forward now. And come on up. And back down. Stretching. Slightly rounded back, make your tummy work. Sideline quad stretch. Keep the back straight, brace, come on down. The knees in front of the chest. As long as one knee's in front of the chest, that's keeping your back safe. It won't bend backwards. You can use a stretch band. Let the ribs lift. Maybe tuck your tailbone a little, but get the stretch in the quad muscle. The glute muscle should be working to pull the thigh bone back. If you're able to reach your foot, good. Very important to have this knee forward. That stops you bending your tailbone back and pinching your lower spine. And you can bend your elbow and send it back, and you've got the good stretch. Again, you're breathing, you're thinking about belly and lower three-quarters of chest breathing. As you breathe in, keep your shoulders down and your neck relaxed. Doesn't have to be a big breath, or it can be if you want it. Squeeze your glute to press that thigh bone away and back behind you to whatever you can do. It's a very important stretch. If you need a modification, I won't show you any others today, but you could talk to a movement instructor or therapist. And the other side. Keep your back straight. Knees in front. Grab your foot and bend the elbow and send it back. I suggest to set a stopwatch, at least 60 seconds each time. 90 seconds is a good target. Bent elbow. And you might notice my ribs are not sinking down to the ground. I could slide a piece of paper under my ribs. Next exercise, a stretch band windscreen wiper. Keep your back straight. And down we go. Now, I've got my leg flat to the ground, but you may want to have a cushion under your knee so that your back is not arching off the ground and causing a pain in your back. The leg goes out the side, but the opposite hip stays down, and just get your body organized so it's squared off like a concrete block. You can take the leg wider, opposite hip staying down. That's what we want. Across the body. Stretching. The hips are allowed to come up, but you take it up as far as what's right for you. Wide. You can take a nice breath, but keep the opposite hip down. And across the body. Nice chance to get a breath into the belly, lower three-quarters of chest, neck's relaxed and shoulders down. We're switching sides. Get the band wide on the foot. Put a cushion under your knee if you need it. The band goes wide. I put a bent elbow into the carpet, and it's a little tricky for me to keep this hip down with this leg. So you just take the leg as far as you can. Hips down, across the body. This time the hip might roll up, just whatever's comfortable for you. Take your time with that. It's a beautiful time for a nice breath. You'll notice as we come across, the leg's vertical, you've got a hamstring stretch. We'll honor that too, keeping that hip down. You can feel your tummy working. You've got a hamstring stretch. Well, that transient 1 or 2 second stretch is really good to do. Your grumpy, painful nerves will thank you for that. And off we come. Last 3 exercises for spinal stenosis. We're going to use a chair and a ball on a wall. First one is a rolling Sir Galahad. Got a hand on the chair, hand on the knee. We go back and the belly button goes back. You can see the foot's forward. Forward we go. And we'll sink the pubic bone down. The back is arching, and you just explore that's all right for you. We have a safety factor with this knee in front. Now, if it's a problem, you're going to try and tuck your tailbone a bit, and you find you get a bit more stretch in this back leg. Back, and the belly button goes back, forward. And if it's okay, just sink your hips, sink your pubic bone down. And if there's no pinch in your back, well, good. But if there's a problem, don't take it so far and tuck your tailbone like a scalded whippet. Belly button back. Sink your hips and pubic bone down, back, and pubic bone sinking, belly button back, and pubic bone sinking. And if it's feeling real good and no problem, well, you're going to come forward and down and look up under your hairline. Your breastbone and upper ribs are lifting. Now that could be getting into problems. It is hopeful that the knee in front will limit any excess movement in your spine, this backward curve. But if it is, you just come back up and just tuck your tail. We'll switch over. You'll see that the chair side leg is back and the opposite leg's forward. So you've got a triangle support here, a hand either side and a knee at the back. And so belly button back, forward we go. And if it's good, just let the lower tummy and pubic bone sink down, look up. And back we go. Belly button, back, and forward we go. And you need to just take it slowly, especially when you're approaching that potential danger zone with your tailbone poking backwards. And forward, and upper chest lifts, and you look up under your eyebrows and brow line. Next exercise is reverse chair sitting, horse rider. You've got lots of support from your hands, so we can go into a squat position similar to a horse riding a thoroughbred in a race. And so the hand support will be something you really need, because that's what you probably do when you're pushing a shopping trolley around in the supermarket. So we just push on up. You've got your hand support, poke your bottom back and hold. The static hold will be good. If you're okay with that, you can put one hand just in the middle and you can get some arm action. You make it a bit like a runner's arm. Push into the chair seat. It may be that you need to put both hands on the chair seat. I'm going to try the other hand now. Your back straight. As you breathe, you're breathing into the lower belly, the lower 3/4 of the chest. As you breathe in, keep your shoulders down. And your hands and shoulders are bracing. 2 hands on the chair. You could take your elbows wide, sit back down, come up to vertical. And so that was the horse rider or jockey position. You can just pull your belly in and come on up. And then on the way down, keep your tailbone a little bit tucked. Keep your tailbone a little tucked, as in I'm not sort of arching my back, so it's a straight back. Leaning forward, come on up, down we go. And you see there's actually 2 components. The first off is a little running action, and the second is the up and down. And if you're getting really strong, you might be down to 1 hand, or you might be up to no hands. You might need to be hands up, no hands on the way down, and then the final will be no hands at all. Final exercise is wall and ball massage. And so we engage the wall with the ball and we massage the knotted muscles anywhere where there'll be pain, probably here, the sausage-shaped muscles, the buttock muscles. And so let's start with these muscles here. The ball's ready. Now, you just bend your knees and sink down. The bottom goes backwards. You get your hips on the wall, and then you... Now, your tailbone should be tucking a little. And just up and down. I'm rolling up and down the sausage-shaped muscle on the left side of my spine. That's good. Oh, there's a knot right there. That's a beautiful bit of pain massage. That it hurts good. And I can do the other side. And what's that like? Again, just bottom back. Bottom's on the wall. Place the ball in. And this is a really good quad strength workout. And so we can also do the hip pocket area. Knees bend wide, bottom back. And then we can just get the ball straight on. There we go. Massage around the hip pocket. That's a really good feel. We can also do the side of the hip. Knees bend wide, bottom back, put the ball in. And this time I'm keeping the ribs close to the wall. So ribs close, elbow forward. So the legs forward against the wall as well. We compare one side with the other. And knees wide, bottom back. And then just get the ball nicely between you and the wall. You can see the angle I've got here. So that the surface of my body is parallel with the surface of the wall. I'm finding there's a lot of tightness around the lower hip pocket area. And can I find a knot in the muscle, a sore knot? I'll just stop and press on it. And the knot will soften and the pain will get less. Still a chance to have some nice, relaxed breathing. Breathe in. Lower ribs are staying down. They're not creeping up to your armpits. And the shoulders and neck are relaxed. Finally, the side of the hip. Again, knees wide, bottom back. And there we go. Ribs close to the wall. Leg close to the wall. Research and Pilates-based exercises for spinal stenosis.